Please welcome to the stage the host of Nightmares, Quarantine Edition, Emily Flake and KAT Burdick.
Yay!
Woo!
Hello. Hi,
Hi
Internet.
guys. How you doing?
How are you doing?
Oh, riding this lava tide that is our current surfing situation. What are you gonna do? Kicking it.
I'm gonna do very little.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My child is actually out of the house right now, so we might not get interrupted by her. We'll see. I don't know. She hasn't sent me any texts yet, so.
I caved on my usual ban on YouTube, so I may also be not interrupted. We'll see.
Nice.
But I feel bad because I am literally like, here, go out your brain for my own.
I'm proud you have any boundaries left at all. We already like got rid of any restrictions pretty much on screen time, but she wasn't that into YouTube until recently when she figured out that she could look up like 50 amusing facts about Harry Potter or Back to the Future. So now she.
But see, that's the thing. Yours can read.
Yes.
Mine is just watching like cartoons with giant heads who are like involved in like plotless commercials for toys.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like hold off because he doesn't know the alphabet yet. So I figure like
YouTube will teach her.
Right? Like I should look for those videos and just be like, here's your playlist, kid. This is restricted. But yeah, I haven't set that up yet.
Does she like those terrible like unboxing for babies videos? Because Tug got super into those when she was little, and then I had to tell her YouTube was broken for the next 5 years.
Yeah, no, luckily we haven't gotten to the unboxing stuff. Her big jam is building habitats for hamsters out of like popsicle sticks, and sometimes they're like scale models of apocalypse warehouses. Like I don't know what people are doing, but it's always, for some reason, the key is that it's for a hamster or a rat, and then they put the animal through it at the end of like a 14-minute video of you building it slowly with like this, the disembodied hands. And that's a big jam around here. And so that's what she does. Like we were playing Legos today and she had to make a maze for a hamster and like an amusement park for a hamster. Everything has to be for a hamster.
That's fucking cool. Like,
yeah, I like that she has a goal. She's goal oriented. Yeah. For 3.5, it's good.
Legitimately amazing. Do you have a hamster?
No, we do not.
And you want a hamster?
I don't, but I know eventually I'll probably cave because she's not getting like a baby brother. So at some point I'll be like, let me lessen that blow. But we did have, like, I could hear that there was a mouse somewhere in the apartment for a couple of weeks. And she started calling it Tater Tots and wanted to catch it and make it her pet. And I was sort of hoping that I might actually be able to pull that off. But Henny ended really, Tater Tots' life last week. So
you don't want a feral. I mean, it's not like they're exactly.
You don't want a feral, but I was like, in a way, this is amazing because she wants a hamster so bad, and you can't go to PetSmart right now. This is the only way to self-source your own rodent. Yeah. So I was, but then again, I also maybe would give my baby the hantavirus. So, be really, it's a real like out of the frying pan into the fire situation.
We have a hamster and it sucks. So
yeah, they smell like pee. I had a hamster, like I got a hamster in my teen years when I was like, I got my own money, I can do what I want. And that's usually followed by purchasing alcohol like a normal human, but let me go with Russian dwarf hamster.
And huff those urine fumes all day long.
Yeah, real enjoyable. So we're not quite to the live rodents as pet stage yet. We're still trying to draft off of Legos and as the aforementioned YouTube or Disney Plus or whatever's on the phone right now.
Well, if Tug does anything like super punishable, I'll just drag our hamster to your house and then the hamster can be yours.
You will, all right, but that would be the moment you need a new co-host because you will make an enemy. You will make an enemy. That's how you tell me, like, it's the horse head in the bed of this show is you dropping a hamster on my front porch. Like, you're done, bitch.
Yeah.
Cut. So I'm hoping that I don't see the day the hamster gets here. I'm gonna have to butter up Tug, be like, take better care of that pet.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. I'm
assuming that she's doing the same thing every kid does and slightly neglecting it, and you have to do most of the work. Is that how it goes?
She actually does feed it, which is good because I would forget. But
you murderous.
But the cage is very complicated, so cleaning it has kind of fallen to me. Although I do make her like help me scrub it, but she can't like get it unhooked from itself because
Yeah.
she's not a fucking scientist. Um, but yeah, it has a nicer living quarters than we do. It's got like this
One of
sort
those cool
two-tier
like
situation. I don't know. I got it like because we didn't want to get a cat, but now we have a cat and the cat is awesome and I hate the hamster. So I don't know. Who's laughing now?
probably the cat who's like, man, I'm gonna eat this hamster. It's only
Yeah.
a matter of time.
When
get
are
bored.
you going to take dinner out of the cage?
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, he's figuring you're saving that for a special occasion.
Yeah. She wrote a book about the cat and the hamster getting married though, which while an abomination was very cute.
Hell no, that's inclusive as hell. I like that. That's also
Yeah.
size wise represents a lot of my relationships. I'm Gizmo. I'm Gizmo, the 25-pound monster cat.
We are all Gizmo.
Yeah, right.
And
Groot. He's the Groot of this show.
I had a kind of fucked up dream last night. Surprise, surprise. I dreamed I had a second child and that this child was like 2 and very large. And I had no recollection of having birthed her and I did not like her very much.
Oh man, that is a bummer for Dream Girl. She is not like that's
Yeah.
You don't want that attitude from your mom. You don't want the you
Yeah,
again,
you,
right? Like oh geez.
I guess I intended to have you. But yeah, then we had to figure out what to do with this like giant baby that I didn't care for. But
What you end up doing? Should I?
I ended up waking up before I could do anything, I couldn't take back. But like Tug has really been like leaning hard on the I want a sibling thing, like harder than usual. And yeah, it already wasn't gonna happen, but it's definitely not happening now.
Yeah,
I would like to be the person who gets pregnant on purpose during a quarantine, though. That is
for real.
That's a bold move.
Yeah, for real. And the I've been getting that too. Because I want a baby brother, I want a baby sister, I want a sibling, and I have that supposedly like very powerful. I can't do that because my heart will explode and I'll die card because of the first what happened to the first one. Not convincing to her, and obviously I can't really say that to a 3.5-year-old. Be like, well, mommy will die, but I said that like each lady has a certain number of like babies she'll have, and sometimes it's 0 and sometimes it's 1, and some ladies have 3 and some ladies have like 14 by some miracle. And I had 1, and that's how many I had in me, and we're good. We're pretty much good. If I thought I was ever gonna have like adoption money, obviously like we theoretically could like shift that at some point, but definitely not during the quarantine. So she's out of luck.
I think you should try mommy will die if she has another baby. I think she's old enough now. Because
I think if I remember kids right, she'll be like, I will trade for a baby brother, please.
Right.
And I can go live with Mima, who gives me ice cream and toys every 5 seconds. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in. So
I mean, failing that, you and I could just form a commune and the girls could be sisters and everything.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe we should just do a timeshare of the kids. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, double sisters, or just give them 48 hours to change their minds, which I think is how long it would take before Tug would be like, she's following me everywhere.
I don't know. She really likes your kid. I think this could work.
Same. And you guys, the cat just cinches it. Any extra pet that she can put her entire body on.
Yeah.
And envelop, she's super into. So.
Oh, he's so docile.
Yeah, your cat is not like mine is pretty tolerant, but Gizmo looks like a goddamn cartoon. I'm sorry, I'm still obsessed with that cat.
I'm pretty sure he's dead inside, and that's why he just lets you do anything to him. It's like me in college.
Well, he has that long history as a sex worker.
Yeah,
it can be dark. It can be a dark history.
He was a celebrated sex worker. I mean, he wasn't just some street whore.
Hey, that's just shaming because he was in like the stud industry. That's just because it was, it's because he's a man. No,
yeah,
not genuinely.
I wouldn't say that about a lady breeding cat.
Yeah, you know what? We just hear about these queens. Yeah, they're literally called that, which I love.
I know. I love
the
that
name for female cats.
Queens. That would be a good name for a bar if there was ever going to be a bar again. Yeah. So
or a band if I ever learned to play music. Yeah, let's dive in.
Oh shit balls. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Never mind. I just did a noisy thing. I hate Zoom. Our first guest is a very funny comedian. He has been on Conan. He has been on Colbert. He changed how I felt about Guy Fieri, which I feel like is a real accomplishment. Please welcome to the square, Shane Torres.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing the show. It's good to see you.
You too. You guys hanging in there okay?
We're fine.
We're great.
I really love the way, like I'm picking up, I don't have kids, but your parenting tips are awesome.
Thanks. We're trying to lay a base for anybody watching who's thinking about having children. Like, we want to be the light in the wilderness for all you parents.
Yeah, whatever I do.
You're the Green Lantern at the end of the Gatsby doc. Is that kind of?
I always back when we did stand up in rooms with people in it, I used to end every kid bit with, now you know to double bag it, because there'd always be like the 30% of people in the audience who didn't have kids who were just like, sweet Christ, is that what can happen? Like, yeah, crotches are very dangerous.
I like that. That's your catchphrase. Really?
Yeah.
And now I got merch. Double bag it.
I used bags like placental adhesion in front of an audience of like 20-year-olds, and that didn't go well at all. Like, not only did I turn them off kids, I think I turned them off me entirely.
I will say this, it might turn off one 38-year-old man right now too.
Let me tell you about the time I was the human puppet.
I appreciate your experience, but it's not dinner table conversation. Is what my mother would say.
I like that I'm picturing now that you have like a TV dinner pulled up in front of you. Like you're just waiting on the next guest. I'm just going to tuck into the Salisbury steak.
It's not a TV dinner. It's a hungry man dinner. They're very different.
Oh, that's right.
Shana, where are you? Where are you sheltering?
I'm in LA. I was out here, when the propeller fell off the plane. So, I was out here for work, and they were like, it's actually kind of funny and kind of terrible. I was out here for work, and they're like, you'll be out here like 6 to 8 weeks working on the show, depending on, how you do and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, great. And my lease ended at the same time. And I was like, well, who wants to pay 2 months of New York rent if they're not going to be there? So I just put all my stuff in storage and let my lease lapse.
Yeah.
So like I lived in Bed-Stuy and I will still live in Bed-Stuy, but I wouldn't call myself homeless during the pandemic, but I definitely, somebody else is getting my mail is what I will say. So like I have to like ask my buddies to go get my mail.
Is this an outside wall you're against? Is that what you're telling us?
No. This is you can tell I'm staying somewhere nicer than my own home because there's drawing on the wall. That's not like that's not an unfinished to-do list.
Yeah, that's what I got back here. That's it's kind of good because you're not paying New York rent during this.
That's exactly
like somewhere else. The silver lining.
One bonus. Yeah. That's
and
the one bonus. But I would love to come home. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's I'm hoping this might be the one way a normal person can afford to buy an apartment in New York again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a nurse can have a home.
Right.
Instead of paying rent to some Airbnb monster or whatever. But I'm really hoping like when I get back, like maybe I'll be able to get a nice place in the West Village for, I don't know, $800 a month or something. Like my goals, like what I'm optimistic about is still very selfish.
I feel
you got to think of those upsides.
So much worse.
Yeah, thank you. You think it's gonna get so much worse?
No, I feel like it has to get so much worse before like normal people can buy property again.
You're probably right about that. But at this point, I really
want it to get worse so that normal people can buy property. I'm just being realistic.
At this point, I would just love to sit in a diner with my friends again, honestly.
Right, seriously.
But I will say now is the time to rob a bank. We're all wearing masks.
That's
Run into
true.
that crowd, B.
Yeah.
That's a
Not
very
that there's
good
a lot of
point.
crowds, but
You can shoot
not that there's a lot of crowds.
away. Like,
You can shoot the coronavirus away.
yeah, you can shoot a bank teller from 6 feet away. I'm pretty sure guns don't work on coronavirus, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, well, they haven't. There's been no studies about that, and that's what the government doesn't want you to hear about. What do you think?
Yeah,
Why do you
that's
think
the
they
real
silenced
conspiracy.
Fauci? Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh, we all just got so sad all of a sudden.
I did
Yeah,
it.
like
I'm
you
great.
literally mentioned anyone
I'm out
from the
here in California
administration.
with lemon trees.
Yeah.
Have you guys picked up any fun new habits since this started?
I feel like I've picked up weird new habits. I take a cold shower every morning. Yeah, I know I deserve that squint. But it actually feels really helpful, and it's like it gives me one bullshit thing that I didn't want to do that I do, and then I feel marginally better about myself for like 15 minutes. So that's been my weird quarantine.
It's really good for you. Cold shower is really good for you.
That is what the crazy
That's-
Dutch guy who is now my guru tells me. I'm super into internet quacks. I don't know if I told you guys that.
No, but I can lead you down some holes if you want them.
Yes, yes, please.
Have you heard of Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, so many holes. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like my habits were pretty much like already weird. When you have little kids, like it is like all the bits that people do about like just living with like a drunken crazy roommate all the time. So you're kind of just in triage, like emergency
Yeah,
mode
you
all the
have
time.
children, so
Yeah, so I like
yeah.
it's just me and my daughter here. So it's like I don't talk to another grown up for days at a time.
Oh my God.
And my poor kid, like I had just gotten her into like she had done preschool for a month. She was in like little after school, like she did, she was set up for camp this summer, all this stuff, and had just like we had met a kid at like a play space and started having play dates. Like she started getting to be like a social human being. And then a month later, after all that got set up, we got into quarantine. So she's stuck with my old 40-year-old ass again. This poor kid, like,
well, I mean, at least she got to get a little bit of it. It'll be back.
A little bit. She got a taste, but it was almost like.
You feel like it would have been better if she hadn't known that was an option.
Like she knows what she's missing. Like yeah, she got like a little sad about it. But also it's just shocking to me that I forgot how to play. That sounds very like we're watching Hook right now, like Robin Hood forgot how to be a kid. But I was a goofball for a super long time and loved playing and like always worked for kids. But in the last like 10 years, I feel like between 30 and 40, I just got old and I don't want to sit on the floor and I don't want to play with stuff anymore. I'm not that fun. So now I'm like, oh, she got stuck with the worst iteration of me. Like if you got here when I was 26, it was like, this would be amazing. We'd be building the biggest forts. Shit would be off the hook. But now I'm like, mommy just wants to sit still and be real quiet for 5 minutes and stare into the middle distance while I think about the government. Can you go in your room? So she's amazing and she's doing a great job. And I do sit down and like make myself play, but it's like compulsive how much I want to get up. Like, oh, let me go check an email or do something like I don't even like doing. I just like am compelled to like do boring grown-up shit. So it's a good wake-up call, but it's definitely like an intense, constant wake-up call because we're all stuck in here all the fucking time. Before I was like farming out being interesting and fun to other families. Like, go play with them. They'll be fun.
Did you pick up any weird habits or hobbies, Shane?
I've been cooking a lot. Like I learned that I can follow recipes, which is a very exciting thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I always knew I could, but like, I picked up, I guess, things I would call a little more difficult. But what I've like been thinking about is like, everyone is kind of put this intense pressure on themselves to become like a fully formed, super interesting person by the end of this thing with like all the time they have. Like people are learning French and all this other, it reminds me like my best friend's parents, when they got divorced, his mom just like started taking care, like a lot better care of herself. She's like, I'm playing guitar again and I'm surfing and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I mean, if you were doing all this cool shit, I don't think anyone would have divorced you. Like, I think, like, like I feel like everybody's going to come out of this simultaneously having a lot more interesting things about them, and no one is going to give a shit because everybody
Right.
else will have done the same thing.
Well,
Which I guess that means we're raising the floor, which is a good thing in a way.
but I think it's gonna put those of us who aren't improving themselves at all even deeper in the basement, which I don't know. I thrive
Yeah,
in
I'm
times
fine
of,
with that.
forward
Like,
expectations.
I'm fine with that. I need look, success is built by standing on the people below you. So I mean, I just want to take off with it. We'll see.
Yeah. I am happy to be your basement troll. Like,
Oh, you got a cute little kid. I'm sure I can't do that.
yeah. Look, she's
That's
gonna be
right.
a
Tug
basement
has already
troll
been the
too.
basement troll.
She is not doing well in online school. It is a goddamn shit show.
Well,
Like,
I don't think that's fair though. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
nephew who I adore, who has no problem staring at a screen, mind you. He just can't do the online schooling.
yeah.
Like I mean, he's not getting it done, but like it's an unreasonable. You can't do the standard that we're expecting of him.
Yeah,
because
no,
it sucks.
the standard has changed.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I want him to. My goal for him, and he's nowhere near me, but my goal for him would just for him to still be able to count to as high as he could before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
right.
let's
Yeah.
we
Like
just hold
a
the bar.
stasis. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, because I mean, like
Yeah.
that would be lovely.
Yeah.
But
When people
I
try to
don't come
refer
from a
back to
great
this
group of
time,
thinkers.
Right.
when people refer back
Like,
to this time, it's like we should be pausing. We should pause all of that shit. Like, just as long as you can maintain that you can still read, we'll be good.
So what
We'll
if
be
you're
fine.
19 when you go to college instead of 18?
Yeah.
Like, I know everybody's getting robbed of a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Or
just
no,
getting
so
their
it's not
gap
long.
year. Think of it that way. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she's getting it early.
Yeah, isn't this
Yeah.
the math thing? Like, you reduce down to the lowest common denominator. Like, we're just taking it off. It's one off of everybody's. You know.
Yeah.
The only people that I feel like are really like screwed is like when you get bad news that's like terminal, but you get it now. It's like, fuck. It's not like I can go to Europe with my last 6 months.
Yeah.
I just got to go to my fucking living room and watch Netflix like the rest of this shit. Like, this is how I go
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah,
I'm always.
can you even get heroin
in those.
if you're just like, fuck it, this is my chance? Like,
Hey, like drugs are coming in much easier, I bet.
right.
I would think. But
That's good. That's good information for me to have.
Yeah, as a mother.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would assume that people are just
Right.
going. I know I have a friend who's staying in Connecticut, and he was like, I had to drive into New York to get blow. And I
Yeah,
was like, what are you doing, man? Like, figure this out.
that's a whole bold set of priorities.
Yeah, well, it's whatever. I can't judge anybody for trying to get
Also,
through this however they
I
need to.
can't imagine that anybody in Connecticut, near Greenwich, Connecticut, there's not a blow connection. You know what I mean? Like, somebody has cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine is available between the 14 yacht clubs, somewhere in that hot spot.
Right. Just go hang out
good.
on the marina.
Right. Wear a trench coat, try to make it fashionable, and
I
snuggle
know
a
people
lot. Somebody will pick
I
it
know
up.
people shit on Delaware all the time, but I don't know why anyone thinks Connecticut's great.
Oh, I grew up in Connecticut. I don't like it at all. Sorry.
Yeah, but a lot of people, I mean, like, it's, you know, Connecticut is just gated community Delaware, if you ask me. There's like nothing that interesting about
Well,
it.
it's funny because there's actually what everybody thinks about of Connecticut is this like little spot, this one county that has like the crazy concentration of rich people, like, you know, Judge Judy's house and shit. And then the rest of it's actually like old school farm towns and like
Or
places that had giant factories, but the factories
Business
shut
mill
down.
towns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
old school like
Yeah.
shut down mill towns. So it's really interesting. Like I lived there and I did not expect that it is like what it is. But
Yeah,
also
so,
though,
like-
that weird part that it's famous for is fucking weird, like
Yeah.
intensely weird. So I like weird stories from working there because when people have that much money, they just don't have any. They're not in touch with reality in any way.
And I was there. I was playing some club, a comedy club, and like the vast difference. They were like, there's some parts of this state that are really rough.
Hmm.
Like apparently outside of like Stamford, that's a part of Connecticut, right? I think that's
It
where it
is.
is. Yeah, and apparently it's a real dump, but
Yeah.
seemed fine to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, pretty good shows. That's my connection with Connecticut. Just like driving through woods, looking for a Taco Bell on the way to a show, not being able to find one.
Right. No,
And
you
then,
gotta look for
yeah.
Dunkin'.
And then being mad at people who just leave their car parked in the middle of the street, because apparently that's something that happens there.
Yeah.
Well, if we've all like shit on Connecticut enough, Shane, tell us your nightmare.
The one I sent you, or
Yeah.
just any of the ones that are happening around me at any moment.
Might as well go with the one I sent you.
Yeah, let's do the illustration.
I have to be honest, because I remember you. I've been asked to do the show and I had to cancel before all this happened, like the live version, the in-person version, before you guys were ahead of the curve and went digital. So the thing I remember about sending the dream, and by the way, I'm feeling so self-conscious about this. I feel like it's like a dog shit dream and it's not interesting at all. And like that even my dreams are hacky and boring. So what I think I remember, and I think I sent it. Did I send it to you, Kat? I think, or did I send it to you?
No, I think it's to M.
Yeah. Was I was walking at my neighborhood in Bed-Stuy, my former neighborhood, my former home, but that will be my home again. And it was like I think I was in the middle of the night and I had my headphones in, and then I was like attacked by these ghoulish, faceless things. And then I just couldn't move. And then I remember when they left me alone, I stood up and it was like I was standing face to face with myself. And that doesn't seem like a good dream. And that's a pretty brief synopsis, but I think that's like my dream. Honestly, it feels like I watched Ghost and I just took the ending of the bad guy being killed and that became my dream.
So those shadow guys are intense though. That's if you're gonna
Yeah.
pick up a dream from pop culture.
Those were
That's
terrifying.
fucking terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
but
holds
it's still like when someone asks you to do a show about dreams, you don't want your dream to be stolen from a Whoopi Goldberg vehicle. Like
No, that happens every
And I
month.
love
Every
Whoopi.
month, at least one of the
Patrick
dreams.
Swayze vehicle.
Yeah.
there's also a Patrick Swayze. Well, look, let's be honest. Whoopi was driving the car. Patrick was just the engine.
Yeah. No, I
And
mean,
Demi
there's
was the
no such
person
thing as a
who
bad
ruined it.
dream.
Yeah,
Right.
that was the EGOT moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
When she
think
got
so.
the Oscar. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So,
But do you think you
what were
also
you saying? I'm sorry.
do you think you got the seeing yourself from Ghost as well, or do you think this says something deeper about your like facing yourself in fears?
Oh God. This is not the kind of personal confrontation I wanted to have with myself during this moment.
Yes, this is when the pod
What else
turns
are you
to a
gonna do in
therapy moment.
quarantine?
Fuck, I don't know, man. I would. Do I think it says something about facing myself in a fear?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that typically when someone starts to tell me about a dream they had, I usually just say anything else right now and I'll be much happier. But I mean, I'm sure it does. I remember it did something because I remember it affecting me enough to be like, well, this is interesting enough to send to them, and it also just bothered me.
Right.
So I don't know exactly what it says, but I do know that it provoked something in the space between being fine with myself and then not. So there's something in between those two spaces that it hit on.
Well, would you like to see the drawing that I made of your dream?
If it's gonna be much worse, if it's gonna make it worse, I don't want it to, but yeah.
All right, so
There I am. Chubby Christ.
Listen, looking at this now, I'm realizing some structural problems involving your legs, but you know,
Yeah.
Foreshortening.
I like the way you see me in my dream is apparently a guy who works at a Casual Male XL. Like this is not a flattering look for me, but also I'm glad that my amorphous I look better face down being mugged by these two ghoul faceless things than I
We
do.
all look better
standing up.
face down, man. It's all right.
Well, let's keep that in context. I like it though because my beard is much fuller than it is, so that's a plus. I like this, and it actually does look like my apartment building, which is nuts. I don't.
She's good at this.
I
feel
like what
like
I do. Also, one of them,
we're dressed the
the
same.
bigger one,
Yeah.
looks like he's subduing me, and
Right.
the other one looks like he's rubbing my back and telling me to be calm.
You need
Like
both of those guys in your
Yeah.
dream life.
It's like it's like Julia Roberts and Steel Magnolia, where it was just like, drink your juice, Shelby, and one of them's got a holder.
Yeah.
And then
I would pay money to hear you just read the script of Steel Magnolias, to be honest.
I'd do it. If it's Dolly, I'm in. So
All
don't
right.
don't worry
Excellent.
about that.
We'll do that
arrange
show
that.
next.
Okay,
Shane,
then.
thank you so much. Normally I would just hand you your drawing, but send me your address and I'll mail it to you, and you can frame it or ritually burn it.
I'm sorry, did you just say send me your address?
Yes.
Oh,
me?
right.
To me? Did you say send me your
I'm
address?
such an asshole.
Send me where your current
Yeah.
box
Hey,
of
I'll
butt
tell you
location.
my address, and then you can send me a drawing of my nightmare.
See, that's
I need to
living
run this one
nightmare
down
inside
to
a
you?
nightmare inside a nightmare. Yeah, it's the Russian nesting doll.
Jesus, Mary, you two got some fucking nerve. No, I'm sorry, you're
I'll
really
just
sweet.
burn it for you.
Please send it. I would actually like it.
Excellent.
I'm sorry. I'm just teasing. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings.
We could just send it directly to your friend that's picking up your mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be
Just save him a trip.
That would have been a move to make.
All right, Shane, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to finally have you on this show.
It's a pleasure. You guys please take care of yourselves. Wash your paws.
too.
Stay safe. Thank you guys.
Always.
Bye.
I'm so glad I can still like stick my foot all the way down my throat, like on Zoom. That's good.
Yeah, like comedy might be dead, but the ability to bomb is still alive. I've been bringing it most months. Can like I don't want to leave while a person is here, like a guest, but I want to grab my drink out of the fridge. Can I run and do that while you talk for a second?
Sure.
I will be back in 15 seconds. Not even.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's an interesting development. I suppose I should have asked, should I bring up our next guest while...
No, you don't need to do it. Well, here we go.
Right.
Hey.
All right. Hey.
It's not that big a place. So.
All right.
But I left my drink in for too long to top it. It's frozen.
Oh.
But that was great. I like that your scary amorphous dream demons, just like everybody else, you always put like that soft extra 10 pounds on everybody, like even for ghosts they were like a little doughy, which I love. I love that about your style.
It's a note that I've gotten on cartoons and illustrations a lot, like, do you have to draw everybody like a fucking Botero? And yeah, Bob Mankoff told me to stop drawing my people so fat, which I basically was just like, that's because you weigh 120 pounds, sir.
Yeah, no, dude, he's represented. We're fine. Like we've seen your body. We've seen your body in a million things. No, it is your Zoftig characters made you a fast fan of me back in the day when I saw your stuff in the Chicago Reader. And I love that it's still like a through line element. It's your spaghetti webbing. Like there's a Spider-Man artist who had a specific way of drawing Spider-Man's webs, and his editor called him in and was like, knock it off. You got to stop drawing those. And he went back, he added like twice as many to the next issue. He just leaned the fuck in, and now everybody does that. So
excess
I think
my personal brand.
Yeah, I'm hoping you bring an extra 5 pounds to any cartoon in the New Yorker through other artists being inspired.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look for that in the esoteric jokes about wine that I don't get.
Yay.
So.
Well, speaking of the New Yorker, our next guest is a staff writer for the New Yorker. Please welcome to the square, Naomi Fry.
Yay.
Yay. Hello.
Hi, everyone. It's okay.
How are you
guys feeling?
Unhinged.
Unhinged. Yes. I hear you.
Okay,
Same. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are still in New York, right?
Yes, I am currently and for the past 2 months in my Brooklyn abode. Yeah, not moving anywhere.
Have you
not
been
going
doing
anywhere.
like fully delivery, or are you like going out once a week to pick up supplies?
No.
Like,
Yeah, we go to the supermarket every few days. We like mask up and glove up and all that. And it's actually become the most exciting part of our lives to go pick up food, or if we have to go to like pick up, I don't know, like something at Walgreens, like medication or like anything like that. It's like, you know, I walk through Walgreens like it's the eighth wonder of the world.
Listen, I liked pharmacies before, but I really like them now. Like they're so.
Oh my God, it's
like,
incredible to be in there.
Yeah. I
It's
want to go
absolutely
to Rear Guard
incredible.
as soon as I can, because they like, you know, not only are they a wonderful pharmacy, but they also have like the remedies aisle where it's like castor oil and saint candles.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, I
for
think
that old timey feel.
Yeah, might be time for that now.
I could go for a rose scented Lady of Guadalupe right now. That would
I'll pick you one
bring up the
I'll
energy.
drop it off when I drop off the hamster.
Oh, damn it. Yes.
But I also like going to like a place like Walgreens or CVS because it's like everything there is absolute trash. Like all the little like toys, stuff for kids, like LOL dolls and like all of that. Everything is made out of plastic and it's like disgusting. And it just reminds me what America could still be, you know, when we get back.
We'll get back there. We'll get back to trash.
Yeah.
It
reassures me.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I caved on buying one of those lol dolls for my kid. I caved on buying one of those lol doll things for my kid. Like it's like,
me too.
It was actually she got to get one actually because of the last nightmares we actually had like live in the in the place, because she gets to go to the library with her sitter. So she bought one, and I was stunned by how much trash was inside of that package. Like every single piece of it is in another giant plastic crinkle. Like it just seemed like the whole box was just like shitting on that Greta girl who's like going around saying like our generation needs saved. It's like your generation is buying this. It's gotta knock it off. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
And it's not like they play with it for that long. Like Tug.
No, there's nothing much to do with it.
No,
like that's the thing.
No, and you may as well just they may as well just put the lol doll factory next to the landfill and just have it direct deposited into fresh girls.
You just cut your fingertips putting on the uncomfortable weird plastic like club clothes on the giant headed animal of choice. And then then they wander off. The whole point is opening it. And so it's like, hey, you know be fun? Generate a bunch of garbage. And then that's it.
Yeah, it's just a
Like
bunch of
tiny,
garbage.
sexy
That's
doll.
my experience of going to see this. Yeah, it's like a sexy baby.
Yeah.
But like
a
everything at
sexy baby
CVS,
doll.
everything at CVS is like that level of like, even if you buy like a thermometer, it comes with like 40 square inches of like plastic and cardboard, and then they give you the receipt that's like fucking Gutenberg Bible, and you're just like, why do I need all of this? Like it reminds me of that like Mitch Hedberg bit about like, I don't need a receipt. Yeah, you don't need to bring this into it.
Our Walgreens keeps the some of the number 7 products behind like a locked thing. And the last time I was in there, I wanted to buy an expensive serum, but I felt like such a dick asking like an employee to come and open up this utterly non-essential like thing. I'm just like, I'm just gonna get some ibuprofen and leave, right? Because I could do it.
Yeah, so it's really incredible to go there. So no, I'm not getting delivery. I'm going out in the world and just braving it and enjoying every minute. I'm just absolutely
it's like a space mission. You put
life.
on the gear.
It really makes
space mission. You just
how often I went to the grocery store. Like I went to the grocery store probably once or twice a day before this, and I because I was like, oh, I've really cut it down, but I'm still going like once every 9 days or so. There's only so much freezer space you have in a Brooklyn apartment.
Oh yeah.
But
And also it's just like a fun thing to do. Like it's like fun. I mean, it's like a different thing to do when everything is so much the same
yeah,
that I feel like, you know, sometimes I go to sleep and I'm like, tomorrow we're going to the supermarket, baby.
yeah,
You know, I'm like looking forward to that treat, that whiff of fresh air.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
From the
that's a
side
really
of your
exciting
mask.
thing.
We
Exactly.
also live near two pretty good small 24-hour grocery stores.
Oh wow.
So
Is it
my
one
husband,
of the misters?
sorry, no, one is Isaac Fruit and the other one is Carnival. They're both just like
Okay.
greengrocers, but they're open all night. And my husband wakes up insanely early just of his own volition because he's broken. And he goes at like 5 in the morning. No
Yeah.
lines, nobody's in there. It's awesome. And if I
That-
could get it together to like actually put on pants and leave the house at midnight, I could go there at midnight and buy all the things.
Yeah,
That-
it's like the club.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm
It's
gonna
like
go party.
going to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to party at CVS.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I go out, unfortunately, I've got the kid and I can't put her with somebody else. So it's like this dance of how long can I convince a 3.5-year-old to be wearing a mask and gloves,
Yeah.
and like not touch anything in the grocery store while we go down. Like, luckily they put
Yeah.
down all of these like giant fluorescent arrows. So it seems very exciting to her to like follow that. But it's
Right.
crazy how like I used to shop for like probably maybe an hour at a time, like really hemming and hawing and getting things and putting things back. And now it's like supermarket sweep. I'm in there, I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck it. If I have the slightest inkling that I might want it, I get it. And then I have these like an insane amount of a grocery bill for like one woman and a tiny child.
Right.
But it's just like, I don't know when I'll be able to get back here. And you know, oh, they have milk. That's amazing. But it's like, that's one of the reasons I can't do
I know.
delivery, because they'll skip something. And it's like, if you skip milk, I have to change what else I'm buying. Like I have to make different plans. So it's like, if they miss something key, I'm going to end up having to go out with the kid anyway. So rather than make it a surprise, I'm just doing it. And luckily she's bribable, and like her grandma made her like little face masks with monkeys on them. And so it's good. But even then, like, yeah, like the whole get up of like having to ramp up to it and put on the gear and have like the protocol plan of like, when do I put the gloves on and when do I use hand sanitizer and is kind of exciting. It's kind of the highlight of the week.
Yeah.
It's nutty.
I wish I could go out to the supermarket every day, all day.
Yeah.
Were you like big, like, were you an introvert or an extrovert like before this? Like, did you go out a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
avoided going out, so
I mostly worked from home. So no, in that sense, you know, because I'm home a lot. But I did like, you know, often go out and see friends and yeah. And now that's all gone.
Yeah, I enjoyed being a homebody in terms of work, but I miss like going out and seeing other human beings. I would murder somebody for a cigarette right about now.
I gotta admit, I almost 2 weeks ago almost texted you because I had to drive because I can't just leave the car sitting for like weeks at a time. Like occasionally I have to drive it to like keep the battery charged. It's like I need to drive somewhere like for an hour. Yeah. And I almost texted you to see if I could park across the street from your house and literally like buy cigarettes because I don't have them because I don't smoke, and buy them and like leave one outside of your door and stand across the street from you so we could smoke a cigarette together and I could drive my ass back out.
I 100% would have done that.
I know, but that's why it felt so crazy that I was even inviting you to do that. But that in my mind was like, man, what a great thing to do this weekend, to drive an hour to smoke a cigarette 25 feet away from my friend Emily. Literally with my kid in the back of the car trying to distract her with something else. Oh my God. I'm like, that's definitely my back pocket. Like that's my current.
You don't have to buy any. I have some. I haven't smoked them because it feels like superstitiously weird because this is such like a
Oh, right, because of the whole respiratory illness
No,
thing. Yeah.
they're saying I've been listening to the people saying that it actually there's been some findings that in France, which is suspicious, but
Yeah.
that it's actually weirdly and sort of like somewhat anecdotally, but still some sort of like control group of people who've been protected
Right.
by
I have also read
COVID,
this.
or at least
I feel
I mean,
like
I don't know.
it's probably bullshit. Oh, Shannon says it's nicotine,
But
not smoking.
I hold on to it.
Right.
I hold on to it because what
You
we've
heard
been
it here
doing,
first,
what we've
people.
been doing,
Yeah.
what we've been
The New
doing
Yorker
is
says.
there's a bodega across the street from our house, and we have been, me and my husband have been buying a pack, and then every day, like asking them to keep the pack,
Right. Nice.
and then taking 2 cigarettes a day, like one for me, one for him.
That's a great
And
Lucy workaround.
yeah, so we don't, just have it in the house, because
Right.
then, I mean, for me, it's less of a problem. For my husband, it's more of a problem. He's more tends to be like, he's not anymore, but like he could very easily still become, once again, become a heavy smoker.
Right.
So, so that's what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. And so far it's been working, and that's another thing. It gives meaning to life.
Right.
Because
Right.
it breaks up the sameness. So it's the same as going to CVS. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, shit. Like after like our daughter's asleep, we're going to have a cigarette,
Right. Yeah.
which is incredible.
I love that you set up a prepaid Lucy source.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, okay. So they actually have Lucy's, but all they have are Newports, which is disgusting. So I refuse to do that. And so I actually came up with an idea, and they're like nice, and they don't mind. We know them. I don't think they said they don't mind, and they're willing to do it. So, and we buy other stuff there as well. So that's what we've been doing.
That's fantastic.
So
well, if you get
bored, it's fantastic,
and want to walk to Windsor Terrace and stand across the street smoking,
yeah. Sure.
You know where to find me.
Yeah.
But let's talk
at Carnival at the club.
What's that?
At Carnival. At Carnival.
Yes, exactly. I'll meet you at Carnival. Let's talk about your dream, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
this is. Yeah. So this is. It's not exactly a nightmare. It was just kind of like more a dream of annoyance that I actually dreamt earlier this week. It was Monday, I think maybe the night between Sunday and Monday. And it struck me as very funny that I had this dream. I sort of woke up and I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then I decided, to choose that as my, I've had a variety of nightmares probably over the years, but I decided to choose that as my dream because it was fresh in my mind. And the dream was randomly that I somehow end up hosting SNL. Now, I haven't watched SNL in years. Like, I'm ambiently aware of it, and I sort of know some of the cast members, but I don't know a lot of, I don't really know the ins and outs. I kind of see people tweeting about it, and I know some people, and I know people watch it. Some people like it, some people hate it, whatever. But I had a dream that I was chosen to host SNL, but for some reason, everybody thinks I know what to do, but I don't. Like call times and like cues and, all sorts of stuff like that. Like the skits, I'm like supposed somehow to know. Nobody tells me what I'm supposed to do. And it's very stressful and confusing that I'm supposed to somehow, I don't know how I'm supposed to like figure out how this all works. And so the whole feeling of the dream is constantly being like a pace behind and wanting to fit in and do what everybody else is doing and kill it, but it's not really working. And then the end of the dream, or at least what I remember as the end, is that and also where this takes place, it's not like in a nice studio at like, 30 Rock or something. It's like a weird, like studio building with like an old crusty staircase and like a kind of like a doorman, but not like a fancy doorman, like a guy who sits in a little like a bulletproof glass room, you know. And then I'm like on the staircase and suddenly I hear like sort of whoops and cheers and stuff. And I realize it's like the ending, you know, which is like the fun part, you know, everything is over. There's this relief. All of the cast members are hugging. Like I get to say, this is the part where I get to say like, good night, everyone. You know, thanks for watching, whatever it is that they say, like, I don't know, whatever star it is, like Dua Lipa or someone, I don't know who, and everybody hugs. And I realize that I'm on the staircase and this has already started and I'm nowhere near the stage. And so I like rush up this grotty staircase and then I reach the stage just as it's ending.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I missed like the part, like this was such a nightmare. I didn't really know what to do. It was really embarrassing and awkward. And now I even missed the part, which is sort of easy, you know, just like hugging everyone and saying, thank you, everyone, good night. So that was the dream.
I feel like you
classic situation.
His version of the like, oh shit, I've been missing first and second period all semester and now there's a test. You know, it's like,
I have that dream a lot.
Yeah.
I have that dream a lot too. That's actually the format, probably most of my, not nightmares because I don't wake up screaming, but just like a very, you know, bad feeling / annoying situation of like, oh my God, it's the math final. I haven't been to class all semester.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I'm like 44 years old. Like, what is going on? Why am I dreaming this?
Yeah.
And yet I persist.
I have multiple times had that dream where I turned to somebody in the high school. I'm like, I have a fucking bachelor's degree. I couldn't possibly need to pass this class. And yet, but no, it's fun to have a good twist on that dream, you know, at least mix it up.
I love this. This is a huge plus up to the like idea of stress in a stressful situation and missing something key. Because how often do you hear that from everybody and their brother that they'd want to host SNL?
Right.
And the idea of not just like that sound of I've just missed it at like the very end. That is like legit haunting in a very like maybe that's very performer specific, but wow, like I can imagine like waking up and actually being bummed out all day for that. Like, did you have like an aftermath of that?
I mean, I definitely remembered it when I woke up, and I was definitely like, oh, this is, and I was sort of thinking about it and talking about it a little bit, and it's a very obvious dream to me. Like it's on some level. I mean, there's probably levels I'm not aware of, and who even knows, but I think it's like, you know, it's quite obvious that it's a dream. It's a stress dream, you know, about fucking something up, like a big deal thing. It's a dream about missing out, you know, just like missing out on the fun, like collective activity that comes at the end of something that was stressful. So you're missing out on the fun part. It's a dream about not belonging, I guess. You know, there's a lot of like, not a lot, but there's several kind of levels to it. It's a dream about, I mean, I don't know if you would consider SNL the comedy community exactly, but I always like, one of my long-standing annoying bits is that I want to be part of the comedy community. And I'm not really, I guess, because I'm just like a writer, but it must be somehow related to that. It's a dream about fucking up as a celebrity.
Right.
You know, I guess like I get this chance to like shine and I'm unable to. Anyway.
No, yeah, you're really good and
writer. Yeah, you wrote great self-doubt. That's that's a sweep stress dream. Yeah, like I will feel that too. Did you like did it happen like around anything else big that you were like that you remember being stressed out about, or like a particular thing that you were pitching?
This was just at the beginning of the week. I mean, I always have sort of a standing deadline for something. It wasn't like, no. But I think it's just maybe a general that's my general feeling. Like I'm gonna fuck something up.
Right.
And I'm gonna like miss out, and I'm gonna be sort of tossed out of some sort of circle. And it's weird that I chose SNL because as I said, I don't really watch it, but it's kind of like the fact that it's kind of like a storied kind of
it's comedy emblematic,
like collective, or something is why I was I put that as like the sort of, it kind of combines comedy and celebrity, I guess, or something. But I don't think I was dreaming it around like a specific event, except like the event is my life, and I constantly feel like I'm on the verge of like blowing it.
So I actually want to talk to you about all this like after the show, because I've been mentally writing an essay about a lot of these feelings. So
okay,
I'd
be happy to.
And
yes,
would you like to see the drawing that I did of your dream?
I would love to. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
So,
beautiful.
What's the point of doing SNL if the world can't see how much Kate McKinnon loves me?
I love my curly ponytail.
Thanks. I tried to give you like a, that good like insouciant updo. So
that's really cute.
Yeah. Again, you have an address, so you can send me your
I do have an address. I'll send it to you. And I'm very honored that you made this, and I'll be like, I'm super thrilled to get this.
To frame or burn.
Certainly frame, not burn.
And then burn. But
yeah, I'll frame it and then I'll burn it.
Exactly. Put the work in. And then, but yes, thank you so much for doing this. It was a pleasure to I don't know if I've ever met you at any New Yorker thing, so it was very nice to meet you. Like actually,
no, I don't think so.
Green face.
I don't think we've ever met.
Well, now we have.
I know. And once everything returns to normal in like 2 or 3 years, I'm sure we can meet in person as well.
Yeah. Well,
maybe we should go to SNL.
Yeah. Now we have a plan.
And smoke right outside of it. Yeah. Thanks, Naomi.
All right. Thank you, Naomi. Okay. All right. Let's move this along. That was an excellent stress dream. That was like I feel ashamed at how shitty my stress dreams are.
Yeah. Why are mine always high school? I can't move on. Like it's like an actual accomplishment.
No, now we have.
Why am I just trying to make it through like third period? A million years ago.
So our third and final guest is AIMEE Mann. It's AIMEE fucking Mann. Please welcome to the square. Hi.
Hi.
This is the best background I think I've seen on any Zoom call ever. Between the like wallpaper and the terrifying doll, like
the Charlie McCarthy. Is that a Charlie McCarthy?
It is. Yeah, we just this is the guest room, and we just decorated it, and we just redid it, and it's become my my hutch where I do Zoom calls and FaceTimes, and because of the wallpaper.
Yeah. It's such a good Zoom hutch. I feel like I really need to get this situation in order, but I also feel like maybe like an extremely messy background is part of my Zoom brand. I don't know.
part of your persona. I can't really see what's happening, but what it reads like is artwork on the walls and maybe laundry. So like it has like, because I can't tell what that pile is, like if it's how far away it is, if it's it's right there. It's because it looked like it was wearing the back.
Animals.
Sloth.
Stuffed animals. Yeah, it gives the impression of being a pile of laundry way much further away.
Yeah. I don't know which is worse, like if it's laundry or if it's just a pile of random stuffed animals that my daughter decided she doesn't want anymore, but I feel too sad about to throw away.
It makes it seem like you are the one who is collecting the stuffed animals, which is kind of, adds a certain piquance piquant. What's the word? Like a piquant.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Something French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm holding stuffed animals. These guys will be doing my job for the rest of the show.
Is a puppet show much farther away?
No.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I think we should just do this as puppets for the duration.
I'm ready. I got mine.
Jesus
Represents my true self. Hey, how you doing?
That's
Hey.
pretty great.
Does that thing's eyes move? No, this is
his mouth doesn't work because it like hangs open, so we have to tape it shut, which is even more horrible.
Oh my God.
But I'll just sit here and hold it, and that won't be disturbing or creepy at all.
Wow. This just
That
took
was
a real turn. You guys.
What?
I bought this off eBay because I actually thought that these toys didn't really exist. This is a Boglin puppet from the 80s. I thought that these were from a bad dream I had when I was like 8 or 9, like after I had like, Robitussin when I was sick or something, and then saw them randomly on the internet sometime like 5 years ago and bought one off eBay. And it's very like gross but friendly guy and like a Jim Henson Labyrinth type of movie, so that's why it's funny though that I stuck him over here before the show. Like, I don't know why. Like, I feel like if I have a puppet I could grab. I don't know why. That's fun. But so I'm glad that it came in weirdly handy.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
I like that it has articulated eyes.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's why I got that one, is because I guess they have a bunch, but that was the one with the little eyes that move. And
that's the second point.
Yeah, I like the personality it has. And weirdly, my kid loves it. I was worried it was going to be like nightmare fuel, but she loves this guy. She's like, make him talk.
Your kid really leans into the weird shit.
She loves dark and creepy stuff. She's a very I feel like she's a very like Lydia from Beetlejuice in the making. Like, speaking of, I think the door has opened. The seal is broken.
Maybe she will like Amy's marionette.
Oh, she might.
So, is there a hole in the head of your guy, Amy?
It's
We'll take that in your room.
It has like a thing you pull, except it's broken, so his mouth just hangs open. There's no making him talk anymore.
He's forever silenced.
He's forever just like surprised.
Shocked. That's the appropriate reaction for now.
I got this for Tug because she was sad because I went away on a business trip when those were still a thing.
Yeah.
And so on the way home, I got her this because she knows I like sloths. And I was like, well, next time I go somewhere, this could be like your mama standing because I like sloths. And then a couple weeks ago, she was getting rid of, she was winnowing her stuffed animal. She's like, I'm so sorry, but I have never liked this one.
Well,
so, yeah, now it's mine.
She knows what she likes, and she's not afraid to set a boundary around a stuffed animal when
apparently
it's
not. Yeah.
I like that she did think about your feelings though. She was like, I'm so sorry, but I gotta tell you the truth. Like, she doesn't want to break you, but she's got to be genuine. It
almost made it worse that she did that. Like, how dare you?
It just doesn't work for me.
You're right. Yeah. I have some notes.
It's not me, it's you. It's the sloth. You gotta go.
But how are you doing through all this, Amy?
I'm doing okay, because when I'm not on tour, this is not that different from my life.
Right.
My husband works, he scores TV and movies, so he works from home. We're used to being home together. He's kind of hermity, so we're used to being home alone and not really seeing a lot of people. So definitely no people is fewer people than we had been seeing, but
right.
In a lot of ways things don't seem to be that different. It's, for me, it's the not being able to plan for the future, because like things in the future help hem in the present and give it shape.
Right.
And especially for me, seeing people, seeing certain, seeing people I like, seeing friends, having a social time is, is like a carrot
Yeah.
that I can use to force myself to do things that I don't really want to do because I know I'm going to get to over here to see the fun people.
Right.
And I don't have that. So like it's hard to structure your day. I think actually like it just comes down to how to form, using the tenets of like forming good habits. You just, like applying that for whatever,
it's
for your
right.
day.
Yeah.
And I did something I probably should have done a long time ago, which was just make a schedule of a week and say how many days a week, do you want to be, should you do cleaning? Should you do exercise chunks? Should you work on these projects? And just like block them in. And it's a really simple schedule.
Wow.
But it helps to go, today's Wednesday and all I have scheduled is take a walk and work on this project idea.
Right.
And then whatever comes under the heading of working on that project idea, like if it's making calls or, writing an outline or whatever it is. But that's actually helped because then I know like I have achieved a week
right.
of things that
And
I
does the calendar you made have 7 days in a week, or is it a quarantine calendar where each week has 17 days?
I stick to the traditional 7. I mean, once again, like I am very familiar with this, not really sure what day it is. And when you're on tour, there's also,
right.
You follow an itinerary. What day it is does not matter that much.
Right. You just have to know what your schedule is for the next day. Like, when do I have to get up to go to an airport or whatever? It's like,
what is the show? What time is the show? Where's the hotel?
Yeah.
No. So that's my life in quarantine. I mean, I will say it is very hard to tune out a tsunami of totalitarianism like news.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel like you really
it's hard to tune it out.
You have to put on your like to-do calendar is you got to mark off like 90 minutes to just scream into a void, because
I have to. Yeah, I mean, I have to mood manage, and sometimes mood managing is, I can't, I can't watch news. I'll watch Rachel Maddow and that's it. Yeah. And then there's just like a lot of, like we started watching Mrs. America and I'm like, I can't watch Republican chicanery right now.
Yeah.
I can't watch.
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's not cute or funny.
I can't watch women get crushed under the heel of right wing assholes right now.
Like, that joke isn't funny anymore. Like,
yeah. No, I felt like that when like Handmaid's Tale came out. I was like, kind of the same as if I just watched the news or read transcripts coming out of the Congress. So I think I'm gonna hold off on that as my entertainment for now.
Yeah,
it's on the nose. So that's and then I mean, like we started rewatching The West Wing just because I just have to have something to put me in a mood of to remind me that there are people who have just the idea that you serve a principle and not, money or a crazy man or the principle of crushing other people, that there are principles to live your life by and, and to evaluate what your principles are and to recognize in other people what their principles appear to be.
Right.
I have to kind of feel that that's still a thing.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
As long as you can fail to remember that it's fictional, it's a really good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Now, my husband will periodically like come out and be like, so did you see the latest like string of Trump tweets? I'm like,
nope.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
Like,
We can't do it. I mean, but you know, also, I do think there's a difference between, I mean, from the moment he was elected, or I mean, before he was elected, like women were like, I know this guy. This is the guy who like tried to rape me at a frat party, or did rape me at a frat party, or rape my friend at a frat party. Like, we know this guy.
yeah.
And we know how virulent he is and how dangerous he is. And we also know how little he cares about women, and or that there's like a hatred of women. Like you know that guy, and you know what he stands for, and you can sense it. And so we were all terrified, you know, and most of the guys I knew were like, you know, like, yes,
Calm down.
it'll be
You're
fine.
right.
Our institutions will hold. I'm like,
Right.
we know this guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I do think like to even see him speak is to, I can't do it. I gotta, you know,
Yeah.
a certain amount. I mean, it's not denial, because like I know what's happening, I know what's going on, but I just
No.
have to like
I
find
just
a way
can't
forward.
hold-
Like, what's the solution? How can
Yeah.
can I donate some money? Was there anything? You know, probably that's the only thing I could do.
Yeah, I've always been taking in, like, if he says something, I have to read it like a transcript. Like, I'll read it, I'll know what gets said,
Yeah.
but I can't hear his voice. I just
Yeah.
recently like caved a couple of times on that because my friend Sarah Cooper, who's a comedian, has been doing these
Yes, that
lip
was so good.
syncs.
Yeah.
She picks out like one terrible minute and she does it perfectly in like a suit jacket, and it's for some reason like devastatingly funny in a very real
It's so
version
good.
of that term.
It's so
And it's so compelling. Today she was doing one talking about like him doing that thing of like, from an economic standpoint, we're going to have a great year next year, which is just horrifying. And as she's doing it, she's taking the picture of her and her husband out of a frame that spells out, a picture frame that spells out love, and she puts $1 into it and then closes it, like just this real subtle hand motion. And I was like, that like somehow softens the blow, but like I still can't stand it. Like I can't stand to hear his voice. Like
no,
I can't
that dark inverse of ASMR that I get from it, you know, it's like somebody dropped a fucking slug down my back. Like
it's true disgust. It's like it's a recoiling.
Yeah.
You know, it's recoiling, like, you know, that when you see the poisonous snake, like
it's a genetic memory thing of like a parrot who's never seen a snake will freak out when it sees a snake. Like I feel like that's every decent human is like, oh no. Get this guy away from anything important.
Which is actually the feeling that the dream that I told you about, like that is the feeling that engendered in me. That
let's talk about that dream, because that's less scary than Donald Trump.
First of all, I will say that I, unlike everybody else I know, I love to hear about people's dreams. I love for people to tell me their dreams.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I like it is because when people are telling the dreams, they're telling the details of the dreams as they're remembering them, and they're not hearing the symbolic stuff that's happening. And so there's often like this moment where you are hearing this person you know tell, like I remember this is a long time ago, somebody I was in a band with, this guy said, I had the weirdest dream last night. I was in a gymnasium, and on one side of the gym was a bunch of giant pink triangles, and on the other was a bunch of giant blue balls. And like, all right.
Man. Ooh, well,
just a weird dream, all right. You just dreamt about geometric shapes is all.
You know, you love shapes.
Who doesn't love a shape?
Symbology 101.
Yeah. So should I go?
Yeah, tell us the dream.
Oh yeah.
So there was a period of my life where I wrote down all my dreams, like every morning. And I think the more you do that, the more you're able to remember your dreams. I don't do it anymore, but I was just having so many stressful and kind of upsetting and super creepy dreams. I was like, I should start writing these down and talk to my therapist about them. So this one was, I was with my father, and we were up on like a balcony or a bridge. It was like about 2 stories above the ground. And so we were leaning against the rail together, looking over at the ground, and way down, I see a praying mantis and I creeped out. I do not care for insects, and I know praying mantises are kind of awesome, but like, get them away from me. Because they're just like too many spindly, and also like the giant humany.
Yeah. They're very
Big
meaty.
mandibles.
Yeah.
Yeah. These things. So so I was looking, then it like pointed its creepy eyeballs to me and like made this virulent, malevolent eye contact, like it saw me, and then just shot up. Like and I thought like, oh, well, we're far enough away, like it could never, but no, it shot up 2 stories in the air and clamped onto my hand, and like tried to like bit into my hand, like burrowed its little mandibles into my hand. And it was this giant thing. And so my father was there, and I was trying to pull it off, and I couldn't get it off. And so I turned to my father, and I was like, get this off me. And so he tried to help me pull it off, and like he couldn't, and we had to like tear pieces of it off, which is just
Oh.
so finally, like we just finally yanked the last piece out of it. So we got it out. But
was it one of those like,
that's my delightful insect dream.
was it one of those really like visceral dreams where you can like feel the action that you're taking?
Yeah, I mean, I can feel it now. And just the idea that to have to like rip it to pieces, like I don't enjoy, if I have to kill an insect, I do not enjoy it. I do not want to crush or rip or tear or burn. Like I don't want it there, but I don't want to have to be part of its maiming or destruction. That is disgusting to me too.
Yeah. I had to kill a praying mantis once, and it was a long battle. And it really, like, the killing of it was difficult. It was like murdering. I
do not. Ugh. I know. I don't want to have that happen. I don't want to have to kill a thing.
No. Well, it shouldn't be biting your hand if it doesn't want to get murdered.
Yeah. The dream mantis should not be attacking me and embedding itself into my hand.
It is at 100% the dream mantis's fault.
I think this would be less vivid for me if I hadn't just seen that video of a praying mantis eating the head of a murder hornet or whatever that new bug is that everyone's freaked out about.
Do they do that?
Okay, they're on
they just have, I don't know if it's a regular occurrence, but there's like a very vivid video. And it's funny because you described this thing where it comes out and it does that in the video. They just have like they set a murder hornet down, and praying mantis is like, ooh, snack, takes a minute, sizes it up, and then does that, like goes and grabs it and like traps it, and it's just stuck in its like weird chompy, praying mantis hands, and then just starts snacking on its head. And the way you described it going into the hand, I was like, that's what it was doing to the head. Like you got the motion right, and it just sits there and just like eats the whole head while like the back is kind of kicking. It was vivid. And so like, wow. if I at this point I may have a reaction to praying mantises that I didn't have in the past, because that's two strong negative praying mantis incidents.
Yeah, that's super,
in 124 hours. But wow.
Universal though, kudos to Mantis for going up against the murder hornet. Like now
we'll take the assist on those murder hornets. We
listen,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You have.
Exactly.
I do like I normally don't talk about like nightmares I have on the show just because we've gotten to most of them, but I did want to bring one up, and because you said you don't mind hearing people's dreams, I'm going to tell you this. And it has a prop. I in college, the movie Magnolia came out, which, as I remember, it was a 3-hour AIMEE Mann music video, and I watched it obsessively. And then at some point after I got out of college, was still so enamored of it that I went online and I bought a prop from the movie, which I don't collect props. So that was kind of random. Sorry, I'm going to move my computer just because I'm running out of battery. And so this prop sat in my attic for years and years and years. And then one night I had this dream that I went up to the attic and got this prop out, and that it started, like in the movie, raining frogs.
Yeah.
And when I woke up from this dream, I went to the computer, opened up my computer like I usually do, like look at Facebook or whatever. And Philip Seymour Hoffman had just died, who was like like a huge piece of that movie.
Wow.
And so I went up. I haven't been up and pulled this out of my attic in like 6 years. One of the frogs.
Oh my
from the movie.
Whoa.
Can't
Still
believe-
squishy. What's funny is they sold either one individual frog, or you could buy, because they made so many, a 55-gallon drum of squishy frogs. And if I had had any money at that time, I would definitely have in my attic a 55-gallon drum of squishy
you know
frogs.
I'm gonna have to Google whether or not you can still buy a 50-gallon drum of those frogs.
Probably
That's
still-
Yeah, I got the guy's address is still on the box. So you can call him up.
That's a
and be like,
very
"Can you
realistic
get rid of
frog.
these?" Isn't yeah, they did a great job. I mean, they really like, at first I was actually skeptical if this was like a legit prop until it came, and I was like, no, this looks like somebody really put
it looks
really
like
put
the
some work
one.
into it. But yeah, so it was
Classify this as a legitimate clairvoyant kind of dream.
yeah, I have a very useless clairvoyance. It's a classic Irish trait, is to
Yeah.
be very uselessly psychic.
Yeah.
And
No,
honestly,
that's
even if
never
you know,
happened.
yeah, right. And even if you know something's coming, like you can tell people they're not going to listen to you. You just get to like sit by like some sort of like old lady mystic and just be like, there it goes. It's unfolding just as I foretold.
It's a very dull shining.
Yes, right. Yeah. It's a very just pasta and potatoes level shining. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Well,
I'm
done
excited to see
with
your
drawing.
cartoon.
All right,
Yeah.
let's put that up there.
Oh my God.
Ah, you made it so big.
Love it.
So yeah, I mean, there's
Love
your praying mantis. Aren't we at least supposed to make out first?
That's so great.
We-
I like that you made him a little bit cute though. He's got like the googly eyes.
Looking at him now, yeah, he like, it's almost kind of a charming praying mantis as these go. Or did I draw Amy really tiny? Ask yourself that.
Mind blown.
The size of the mantis definitely gets the menacing quality, but he is a little like Mr. Peanut, like he's kind of sassy. You could almost give him a cane and a top hat.
Right.
Or I'm probably thinking of like Jiminy Cricket.
Well, either way, that is how we overcome our fears. We give them top hats, and little canes.
I also like we haven't touched on it, but like but praying mantises are the ones famous for being the female that bites the head off the male.
Yes,
and I feel like that's in there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I have to say, when I woke up from this dream, I knew exactly what it was about.
Right.
Because it was a there was a female relative who was exhibiting a lack of boundaries, and I needed my father's help. Like it was like, as soon as I woke up, I'm like, that's who that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so you might
even
really
easier
want
than
to
the
burn this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the new narrative I'm gonna replace.
Excellent.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
You are certainly welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing.
This was a pleasure. We're gonna bring everybody back to say goodbye, and then and then you're free.
Anybody who didn't have to run and pee.
Yeah.
NAOMI, Shane.
You guys, thank you so much for doing this show. I hope I get to see everybody's like actual flesh face real soon.
Flesh face.
Yeah.
Yeah, still attached to our own bodies,
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
It'd be ideal.
preferably, but I'm not picky. All right. I love you all very much.
Thanks for having me.
Sweet dreams.
Bye,
Again.
Take care, guys.
Bye.